this has only moved, not that much, but it's only moved maybe like 100 miles to the south. And it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it's further enough south enough that it doesn't deliver as much precipitation as it was uh, showing just hours ago, more or less. I think 1 o'clock in the morning was hours ago, but that's just me. But anyways, the timing on this seems pretty sound. Like I said, it comes in early in the morning, and I would say, after midnight, the action really gets started. Especially along here, the south coast of Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts, and for the Cape. However, I still think that there's still going to be a little bit of mixing down here along the south coast. Temperatures overnight, they're really only going to be right around like 32, 33 degrees. So the snow that does fall here in the south coast is really going to be a more of a heavy wet snow, and that will definitely keep snow totals down. Even further north, temperatures are not really drastically cold. It's not like it was 2 days ago when we had that snow come through, and it was that really light, fluffy snow. And that doesn't compact very well. So when you have that light, fluffy snow, it's easier for snow totals to amount to higher totals, whereas the heavy, wet snow compacts, and you can actually have lesser snow totals. And so I do think that there's going to be a little bit of mixing here. I think the ocean influence gets in here along the south coast in the Cape and causes a little bit of mixing just a little bit on and off throughout the pre-dawn hours. And then as this storm system begins to, basically be right underneath us and move offshore, that's when the cold air will kind of retreat a little bit and we'll finish off as some wet snow. But like I said, after I would say at around 1, 2 o'clock in the morning for us on the south coast in New Bedford, this is basically when it gets started. Back out through Connecticut, I would say maybe within a couple hours you're going to get started, more or less. Like 10, 11 o'clock. And basically, the height of the storm will pretty much occur between 4 and 10 o'clock in the morning. This is the image for 7 o'clock in the morning. This would be 10 o'clock in the morning, and as you can see, you don't necessarily have as many dark blotches of blue, which means that the precip is actually lightening up a little bit, and by 1 o'clock, pretty much everybody has ended in terms of precipitation, and we're really just left with some lingering showers snow showers up here on the North Shore, and a little bit in Plymouth County and on the Cape as well. And then it still kind of lingers a little bit into the later afternoon. Just some light flurries, and maybe even again in the evening time. And we also have a little weak wave that's kind of following this low, but it doesn't necessarily look to cause any kind of heavy precipitation. So that's what's going on for tomorrow. And so in terms of snow totals, this is what the National Weather Service has actually put out. And I think their snow map from earlier this morning, from 3 o'clock this morning, was a little bit better in terms of snow totals. They're still kind of leaning a little bit more towards the European model. The European model was the only model that really has not come down in snow totals. The American GFS has, all the NAM models have, and then this model that I showed you here, the RPM, this is based off the NAM, but it's shown to perform really well in these less than 12-hour to go systems. So this tends to perform really, really well. So I like to lean on this model a lot. And like I said, the trend throughout every run has just been on the decrease. So kind of just tapering the National Weather Service map a little bit. I think, and I'm just going to draw this super freehand. I think that, let me do this. Right along here in Plymouth County, more or less. I want to say that we're gonna let's do a 5 to 7 here, and I think we're going to be a little bit closer to 5 to 6, more or less. And now I think this whole swath from like Boston all the way down here. Let me draw that again. From Boston all the way here. That's not Plymouth County. I think this is more like a 3 to 6 for right now, the way this is looking. And I would say this is kind of like a 1 to 3 for right now. But I could be persuaded to say a 2 to 4. And this is a very generalized snow map. And I think a little bit on the Cape, right along here, I think they mix a little bit more and they get like a 2 to 3 deal, something like that. But this is what my snow totals are in a very, very generalized format. This is kind of what I'm thinking for tomorrow's system based on the data that I just showed you. And so that's what's going to happen tomorrow. It's not really going to, be a full-blown snowstorm. It's not going to be a full-blown length snowstorm. It's pretty much going to be over with after noon time tomorrow. So you'll still have the entire evening to do whatever you want. Now, as far as the Sunday night into Monday event, this is a little bit different. Here's the American model, the GFS, and the GFS shows that this is a classic, well put together, much stronger area of low pressure system that basically just passes right south of New England, very similar to what our system tomorrow is doing. But then the description is that the European model here, the European model was showing a warmer solution. So the European model shows more rain for basically everybody inside of 495 more or less, and everybody in the northwest sector of Massachusetts, even in New Hampshire as well. They're going to get a plowable event where the rest of us will basically get rain if the European is right. But if the GFS is right, then everyone pretty much gets a full-blown snowstorm. And if we kind of just look at snowfall here from the system, if you believe the GFS, but this also includes Sunday's stuff. We're looking at like a 5 to 10 inch event here, more or less, if the GFS is right. And if the European is right, it's going to be just rain. So I have no confidence in the Sunday night, Monday system. Once I figure that out, I can let you guys know. But one system at a time. So at least you have the forecast for tomorrow. Let me know if you like the video, if you like this format better. Trying something new out. So let me know what you thought. And I hope everybody has a great weekend.